A very warm good morning, dear students. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your social science class. So students, in our previous class, we started the chapter agriculture. We introduced ourselves to the chapter by discussing two very important concepts. One is the economic activities and its types, and two, agriculture as a primary sector activity. So students, to remind you all, what are economic activities? These are those activities which generate income, which are undertaken with the purpose of earning income or with the purpose of making some money. So there are various activities which people do out of pleasure, out of self-satisfaction. Those activities are not economic activities. For example, when your mother or when your parents do something for you, or to be precise, when your mother cooks delicious food for you, do you think she is doing that for money? No. Why? She is doing that for self-satisfaction, because she loves you. So such activities are not considered as economic activities. When your father is doing gardening at the backyard of your house, do you think that is economic activity? No. He is doing gardening simply because he loves to do that. Understood? So economic activities are those which generate income or which are associated with money. And students, the economic activities are classified as primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Primary activities basically involve the production of natural products and extraction of natural resources. Agriculture, mining, forestry, animal husbandry, etc. etc. And secondary activities, these are those activities in which the primary outputs are processed to produce something else. For example, cotton, which is cultivated in the primary activity, it may be converted into textile through the process of manufacturing. So that is one example of secondary activity. And students, when it comes to tertiary activities, it basically implies the provision of services. The service of a teacher, the service of a doctor, the service of a banker, etc. etc. Alright? And students, why is agriculture a primary sector activity? Because it is a natural process in which natural outputs are produced. Okay? So students, today we are going to discuss about the farm system, the agricultural system, and we will also be discussing about the types of farming, and to be precise, we will be discussing about subsistence farming. So students, your learning outcome for today's class, that means at the end of today's class, you all will be able to explain the farm system. You all will understand what is a farm system, so you all will be able to explain it as well. And students, you all will also be able to classify the types of subsistence farming. Okay? So students, farm system, the entire system of agriculture. Why is it considered as a system? Because it involves several steps. Okay? So agriculture or farming can be looked at as a system. This system involves three important components. The first being the inputs. Inputs means the resources which are used in producing the agricultural produce or in producing the agricultural products. For example, the seeds may be used, water may be used, fertilizers are used, manure is used, different machines are used, and labor of course is used. So without these inputs or without these resources, do you think it is possible to produce agricultural products? No, right? So these are known as inputs. Okay? And students, just having the inputs is not enough. Someone needs to work on them. Those inputs need to be modified. They need to be processed. They need to be converted into something else. So that is known as processes. That means the operations which are involved. So the different processes which are involved are plowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding, harvesting, etc., etc. Okay. And students, the third important component is the output. That means the final outcome. When the inputs are used, when they are processed, what do we get at the end? At the end, we get the agricultural output, right? So the output basically involves the result of the agricultural practice. Okay, so the output that is generally obtained are the various crops, dairy products, poultry products like egg, etc., wool, etc. Understood? So why is agriculture called a system? Because it involves certain important components. Clear? So students, this is how you can imagine the relation between input, processes and outputs. So the various inputs which are used are labor, then capital. Capital means money. Along with that, it also includes the various machineries. Okay. Then it also includes the seeds, then animals, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. And the processes which are involved are plowing, sowing, spraying the seeds, then uses of fertilizers, then harvesting, then grazing, then milking the animals, etc. And what are the final outputs that we get? Wheat, rice, potatoes, then sugarcane, then milk, hides. Hides means the skin of the animals, then wools, eggs, etc., etc. Okay. So students, when the inputs are processed, it gives us profit. All right. So students, this is a flow chart. Here you can see how the farming system has been classified. Okay. So farming is broadly classified as subsistence farming and commercial farming. Today our focus is subsistence farming. Today we will only be discussing about the subsistence farming part. Okay. So students, you can see that subsistence farming is subdivided into intensive farming and primitive farming. And primitive farming again is subdivided into shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Okay, so this is a flow chart which can give you an idea of how the entire farming system is classified. Okay, so today we will only be discussing about the subsistence farming part, its types and subtypes. So students, subsistence means something which is required for our survival. Okay, something which is not extra but something which is required for us to survive. Okay, just needed for survival. So as the name itself suggests, subsistence farming means the agricultural practices which are undertaken only to meet the family needs, for self-consumption, for consumption of the person himself as well as for the consumption of the person's family. So students, there are farmers. Okay, there are farmers who cultivate crops, and at the end when they get the output, they do not sell it in the market. What they do, they consume it on their own, or these crops, these outputs are consumed by the family members of the farmers. So such type of farming in which the agricultural practice is undertaken not for making money but for self-consumption. That means for consumption of oneself and for the consumption of the family. Such type of agriculture or farming is known as subsistence farming. Okay, you can see people, you may see people, even in our family there are people who have this habit of cultivating different crops in their own house garden. Okay, so they do it not for selling in the market, rather they do it simply for their own self-consumption. So such type of farming practices are known as subsistence farming. Okay, and since it is done for self-consumption, it requires less amount of technology and labor. Simple crops are produced using simple techniques. Okay, so students, subsistence farming is classified as intensive subsistence farming and primitive subsistence farming. Okay, there are two types of subsistence farming. One is intensive subsistence and the second one is primitive subsistence farming. So here you can see the columns, three different columns are there. So students, we all know what subsistence farming is. Let us now come to intensive subsistence farming. So intensive means something when we concentrate on one particular thing. Okay, so when the concentration is put on just one particular thing, that is known as intensive. So let us now try to understand what is intensive subsistence farming. So students, in intensive subsistence farming, the farmer cultivates a very small plot of land. That means his entire concentration or his entire focus is on that plot of land. Okay, and in this farming practice, simple tools, very simple machines are used, and more emphasis is given on labor. That means simple tools are used but more number of labors are used. Okay, and the important factors which help in the growth of the crops are a suitable climate, a favorable climate, a large number of days. It requires a long duration, large number of days. Okay, a good amount of sunshine and a good quality of soil. So these are the factors which help in the growth of the crops under intensive subsistence agriculture or intensive subsistence farming. Okay, so these factors allow the growth of more than one crop annually per year on the same plot. That is why this is known as intensive subsistence farming. All right, now students, come to primitive subsistence agriculture. So primitive subsistence agriculture is further subdivided into shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Okay, so subsistence farming is classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence agriculture, and primitive subsistence agriculture in turn is subdivided into shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. So shifting cultivation, in shifting cultivation, what happens, students? At first, the farmers, they clear a particular plot of land by cutting the trees and by burning them. A particular plot of land is chosen by the farmers and all the trees in that plot of land are being cut off and they are burnt. Okay, and when the trees are burned, the ashes are mixed with the soil because it increases the fertility of the soil. The soil becomes more fertile, the soil becomes more suitable for growing crops. So in this way, farming activities are done. Okay, and once crops are grown in that plot of land, the soil loses its fertility. Why? Because the trees are already being cut off. Okay, so it is a one-time procedure. Okay, the farmers will choose a place, the trees will be cut off, the trees will be burnt, and the ashes will be mixed with the soil to increase its fertility. Crops will be grown in that particular field for just one time. Okay, after that the soil's fertility will be lost, and after that the farmers will then shift to a new place. They will then shift to a new plot of land. Okay, so that is why this is known as shifting cultivation, and in the new plot also the same process will take place, and again from that plot they will move to another plot and so on. Okay, so shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. It is also known as jumming cultivation. In fact, there are various other names. You can find it in your textbook. Okay, now students, come to nomadic herding, the another subtype of primitive subsistence agriculture. So nomadic herding basically involves raising of domesticated animals, keeping of domesticated animals like hen, then cow, then the different cattle like goat, etc. So the herdsman, that means the owner of the herds of cattle, the herdsman, they move from one place to another with their animals for collecting the fodder and the water. Okay, and students, this type of movement, it arises in response to different climatic situations, because we all know that the climate, different climates suits different animals. Okay, so as a result, what happens, the herdsman, they move from place to place according to the suitability of the climate and terrain. Okay, and the different animals which are reared under nomadic herding are sheep, goat, camels, etc. Okay, now students, in intensive subsistence farming, the crops which are grown, the main crops are rice, wheat, maize, pulses, oil seeds, etc. And in shifting cultivation, the main crops are maize, yam, potatoes, cassava, etc. And in nomadic herding, it is basically the rearing of livestock, rearing of domesticated animals. Okay, and the animals are reared to obtain milk products, to obtain the meat, to obtain their skins, and other valuable things from the animals. Okay, and students, the areas, intensive subsistence agriculture is mostly prevalent, or it is mostly practiced in areas which are thickly populated. Okay, and this is basically undertaken in the monsoon regions where the rainfall is quite high, and this mostly takes place in the southern part, than in Southeast and in East Asia. Okay, and primitive subsistence agriculture, so shifting cultivation is mostly practiced in the forested areas, thick forest areas of Amazon basin, then the tropical Africa, then parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. Okay, and nomadic herding, it is mostly undertaken in the arid regions, that is the dry regions, and the semi-arid or the semi-dry regions, which include the Sahara deserts, then Central Asia, then some parts of India like Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, etc. Okay, so students, today we have learned some new words, or you can say some very important words. So we have come to know about the meaning of inputs. So what are inputs? Inputs are basically the resources which are used in the production process, without which the process of agriculture cannot be undertaken. Then output is the final outcome or the resultant product. Then processes means the operations which are involved, sowing, harvesting, threshing, etc. Then intensive, which means concentrated on one particular plot of land. Subsistence, self-consumption, when goods are produced for family needs. Primitive, primitive means ancient, which is not quite modern. Nomadic herding, where herdsmen, they take their animals and move from place to place. And shifting, where the process of agriculture, it is shifted from one plot of land to another. Okay, so these are the new words we have learnt. Well students, these are your homework questions. 3 questions are there, so you have to do it, and you need to submit it today itself. Okay, so students, the first question is, Ramu is a farmer who cultivates rice every year. So what are the various inputs and processes used by Ramu while cultivating rice? So we all know about the various inputs and processes, so you have to write it on your own. Okay, and students, for your better understanding, 2 additional videos will be given on shifting cultivation and on nomadic herding. Please go through those videos, and after watching those videos, you need to answer question number 2. Okay, so in question number 2, you have to list out the differences between the 2 types of primitive subsistence farming. Okay, for that you need to watch the 2 additional videos. Those are very small videos. Okay, and in the third question, students, you have to prepare a flow chart which shows the classification of subsistence farming system. All right, and students, in our previous class, I gave you all 2 questions to think. Those were your homework questions as well. One was, agriculture is a tertiary sector activity. You need to you were required to identify the wrong thing which was there in the sentence, right? So students, agriculture is not a tertiary sector activity, it is a primary sector activity. Okay, and another question was, in Assam, tea cultivation is very much popular. You were required to give reasons. So it is because of the quality of land, that means the quality of the soil and the climate. In Assam we all know that the soil is arable, it is quite fertile, and the climate is temperate, moderate climate, okay, which is not very dry, nor too wet. So because of these two favorable situations, that is climate and good quality of soil, tea cultivation is very much suitable in Assam. So these were the answers to those questions. So those students who have done mistakes, you can kindly correct your answers, okay. And students, you do this homework, and in case you find any difficulty, do let me know, okay. Thank you so much. See you all in the next class.